Welcome in, everybody, to the Wave of the World podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Bodega. That's what I'm going by now. My real name is Jacob Perry, but I have my good friend and my cousin here with me, Miles
Awesome.
County. I will let him introduce himself.
My name is Miles. Nice to meet y'all. For the fans out there, a little bit myself. I'm from Denver. I feel like I lived everywhere. I feel like I was more in New York originally. I was from Denver, Minnesota, lived in California, lived in Oregon, back in California, back in Denver now. So I feel like I've been all over the map. I did college for a couple of years. Decided that wasn't really for me. Went more the marketing entrepreneurship route. Opened a marketing firm in Oregon. Learned a lot about myself. Learned a lot about how to grow and help individuals. I'm a super positive person. Love talking to people. I'm very social. And my goal right now is just continue to grow. Oh, I love sneakers too. Sneakers are my number one thing. So yeah, if y'all got shoes, holla at me.
Cool. I wanted you to go into a little bit of detail. I don't know what your experience was like living in Minnesota, but if you're not living under a rock right now, you know that the man George Floyd was just killed by three
Yeah.
policemen. And now, as a result of that, looting is happening at like Targets and Walmarts. There are riots happening where houses are being burned down and everything. I know it's different state to state whenever you're dealing with the police, but I just wanted to take a moment to recognize George Floyd. We are going to continue to pray for his family as well as the police because they need prayer too, just like the president needs prayer. Like nobody is exempt from receiving prayers from different people based off of your feelings or your emotions or your religious background or your ethnicity. It's never about those things. But I wanted you to speak on because, like you said, you live damn near everywhere except in the water. So.
So I mean, Minnesota, I mean, if you're not used to Midwest, if you're not used to living around white people, it's probably a culture shock. I grew up in Denver, so Denver is pretty like a diverse area for the most part. But it's probably like 80, not 80, but it's like it's predominantly a white area. So I grew up around white people. I'm very comfortable around white people. But Minnesota it's a little different, It's actually crazy that that situation happened with George Floyd because I think a day after there was another situation. I'm not sure if you saw it or not, where a group of black guys, they were like weightlifting in this gym, and the white man was like telling them to get out because it was like a private gym. If you haven't seen it, I'll send you the link to it. But it's crazy. The craziest part about it is because when I was in Minnesota, I was working for this marketing firm, me and my friend Damar, and we were in this Regis building, and these guys that were in that video are the same guys that we like shared office spaces with. So like we would actually go to their office place to play like 2K like almost like every single day. So it was just crazy to me that was kind of like the one moment that kind of like really hit home. Obviously the George Floyd situation, like I said, there's no reason for 10 minutes as to why you're kneeling on somebody's neck. That's not police tactics. That's not police protocol. Even the police commissioner said that. So it's just like with everything that's going on in Minnesota, it's not necessarily, it's what I consider passive aggressive. So it's like people won't say nothing to your face. Like if people have a problem with you, they'll kind of address it on the sidelines. So just on either like social media, they'll say it when they're far away from you, but they'll never really like say it to your face. And that's something that you kind of have to get used to. For me, I was working in a retail store, Costco. Very membership based, very membership driven, predominantly in white areas. So it's like you have to deal with the fact that you're going to be sometimes called out your name. Like I said, you're representing big companies. At the time I was representing AT&T. So I can't just, say how I feel. I can't say my opinions when I'm in the store or anything like that, because then that's a negative look on the company that I'm representing. So you learn a lot about mental toughness, and Minnesota was probably the toughest mental challenge other than living in Oregon that I've had to go through in my life. And they have a city called Coon Rapids. I'm like, when I first time I heard that, I said, yeah, I'm never going there. Like, I don't know what they got going on over there, but I ain't trying to be about nothing part of that. So it's you learn, like I said, it's just, I think in that area too, Minnesota, there's not too much crime that happens compared to like other larger cities, I feel like. So I feel like honestly police officers are bored. For me personally, I got pulled over probably about, now it's weird. Okay, I'm a little bit of a fast driver. So like in Minnesota or Colorado, where I grew up, never had a speeding ticket. When I grew up in LA, when I lived in LA, never had a speeding ticket. Oregon, never had a speeding ticket. Minnesota, I had 5 speeding tickets within a year, and some of the craziest situations that you could think of. I think I think 3 tickets were like something like where I was going like 7 to 10 miles over the speed limit, and it's just like every interaction. And obviously, like I said, we've had situations like happened like this before, and when you're in those predominantly like white areas, you don't know whether that's going to be your last moment interacting with anybody at all. You feel me? So it's just like I know my dad's had a conversation with me that's probably different than what a white person has to have a conversation with their son about in terms of how to interact and deal with the police. You feel me? Like, you have to treat every single cop with 100% respect, whether you're in the right, whether you're in the wrong, because you don't know whether that cop is feeling a good day or a bad day. You don't know what their background is. You don't know what they're affiliated with. And you don't know if that's like, that's going to be your last day, kind of like living. So it's just like, it's different. It's something that you got to get used to. It's something for me personally that I didn't really feel like it was the best environment for me, which is why I moved. Also, Minnesota is extremely cold. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's negative 40-degree weather, 25, bro. It's not exciting. I was out there for 3 days, almost got frostbite. I said never again. So, like I said, Minnesota is. I appreciate the people of Minnesota. Minnesota is actually very diverse compared to what people think it is. But like I said, I know they're mourning right now, and me personally, I don't really agree with all the looting situation that I think going on. But I understand that's how some people have to feel like they have to get through whatever situation they feel like they're going through.
Yeah, I feel like there's a better way to go about it than acting out of frustration or aggression. So I pray for the whole city of Minnesota. I actually saw this morning before I made my docket that the University of Minnesota is not using the police of the city anymore.
Right. Yeah, I saw that too.
The president of the school came out and said that.
I think honestly,
kind of like to you or how you said. So I just got back from Florida, and the last day that we were there, me and my friends, we went on jet skis, and I was the only one that got pulled over. I had another one of my friends that was with us was black too, and we were just riding around or whatever. So I got pulled over by a sea sheriff, and I was complying and everything. He asked me for my license and everything. I didn't know you could get pulled over on the water, but there were 2 cops in a boat, and both of them had guns. I was like, why do y'all have guns? I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. But
right.
I didn't say anything. I was cool with the officers. They even let me go with a warning. They didn't give me a ticket. So that was cool. That was my experience with them. Obviously, I've had other experiences with police before that they weren't necessarily the greatest, but still here. But
Right.
little things like that, like I want to know, like, why aren't there stricter laws for police to become a policeman or to own a gun? I don't know. I don't really get that.
I think, well, in terms of what you're talking about, like, I feel like, yeah, 'cause police academy, I don't think it's too long compared to like other professions in life, like, being a pilot, for example, for a major airliner, being a doctor, being a surgeon, being a lawyer, things like that really cause major change, especially in our society today. I think being a police officer is probably one of the easier fields to get into, in my personal opinion. If that's something that you really want to do, it's not too hard to get into it. So, like you said, I think there has to be longer protocols where it's just you have to be in situations on a daily basis where it's like testing you mentally. Because I think being a police officer is a mental game too. Like, I have a lot of family that is in the police force. So when I say like when people say like fuck the police or anything like that, or fuck the cops, it's not like me personally. It's not like I feel attacked by them saying it because, you know, I have people in my family like that. It's attacking those specific ones. I think primarily, I think where people go wrong is the police officers that work with these people every single day. Those are the ones that stay quiet mostly about all the situations that go on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you haven't heard anybody, at least me personally, I haven't heard anybody from the Minnesota Police Force say something about how what the other police officer did was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where change starts. I think change starts in the justice system in terms of how police officers get prosecuted, because I think they get off a lot easier than I think people would like. Me personally, you know, like someone loses their life, you know, you have a family that loses someone that they've loved, you know, for years, and then this police officer gets maybe like a year or two in prison, or they get fired from their job, and that's it. And the family gets either the condolences or they get a severance package, and that's it. So it's just like that has to be, I think, stronger.
But like you said, like you have to go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer or a pilot. All of those professions, you're either taking care of someone or you're responsible for a multiple amount of people. Same
Right.
way with the police. You are responsible for a multiple amount of people, and you're more responsible because you deal with them on a day-to-day basis. How often does a pilot deal with people other than actually flying the plane?
Right.
How often does a doctor deal with a large amount of people in a day as opposed to a police officer? So I get what you're saying there.
Like, did you ever, I saw on Twitter earlier today, actually, that Chris Rock had a stand-up a couple years ago. I never saw it, but maybe I'll see it. It's on Netflix. But he was talking about the same situation, how police brutality, where it's just like you have one cop that kind of decides to fake for somebody else. And like, if you translate it into like the pilot, for example, right? If you have one pilot that just lost his cool for just even a second, like the amount of catastrophe would be insane. It would be crazy. So it's just like, yeah, I don't think enough, what's the word I'm looking for? There's not enough just responsibility held on the police officers and their actions whenever they do something wrong, because they are there to serve and protect. That's the job. That's what they signed up for. So if that's what you say you're gonna do, I mean, you have to do, regardless of how you feel about a person based on their skin color or their race or, you know, what they believe, you know, religiously.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to switch the topic because this is getting depressing. Let's move to something funnier. So Doja Cat. So she over Memorial Weekend has been getting some backlash because she used to join these online chat rooms that were filled with basically racist people that were, how do I put this? They were openly racist because they felt like they were in a community with other races.
Gotcha.
And apparently she had a song called Do Nothing. And apparently that's a new racial slur. I didn't know you can make new racial slurs. I know there's a lot of them. We ain't got to go through it. But apparently a do nothing is like, it has something to do with the people who are basically spectating anytime racial injustice goes on. So the people with their phones out, or the people just like standing by watching. I don't really get how that's what are you supposed to do?
Right. No, I mean, it's like, especially like we go back to, I mean, like where like I think situations happen like that where people record and post on social media. I think it's my personal opinion. I wouldn't want somebody else to be a victim of whatever the situation that they're recording, right? So like if the situation happened and someone, instead of recording, decided to hop in, now they're part of the situation, and now there's two portions of the situation that's both equally as bad, but now nobody, in terms of anybody else within the world, knows about it. then how can we bring light to the situation that's happened? I love the fact that people post videos like it's the saddest thing ever to see it that it's continuing to happen. But I feel like if you don't shed light on the situations, especially when they're negative, there's no way we can continue to progress. Not necessarily as like a race like Black folks, but like as a society where it's just like you have to be able to see that this isn't just this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Boom. Now, how do we flip it and make it, a solution? Like, how do we continue to prove change and everything like that? So, in terms of like, I don't know what happened with Doja Cat too much. Like, I heard about, like, I just saw like trends and stuff like that. People making fun of her. I seen the memes and everything. I'm just like, damn, like she must have done something crazy. Like she must have said the N word or something like that. But
she's half Black. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I mean, me personally, I feel like, I don't know the situation, but I don't feel like she did anything out of like.
I don't think she did anything out of pocket, but I think it's mainly just because she has the #1 song on Billboard right now.
Gotcha.
And then right after that happened, Lana Del Rey came out saying, like, I'm glad that these women, because I think right now Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, and Meg Thee Stallion, they're like all 4 of them are #1 and 2 on the Billboard, along with like Ariana Grande and Drake. So she came out talking about how she didn't feel like her music was getting the love that it deserved. And I really can't stand when artists do that. Like, if your music is good, the people you'll see it. Like, you don't have to complain about other people succeeding. If anything, just be like, yo, I see what you're doing. I'm glad that you're prospering. Now let me go work.
Like how can I improve my craft? How can I get better?
Yeah.
There's a lot of jealousy in the world, I think, period, where people can't necessarily appreciate the fact that someone's doing better than them, or like quote unquote better than them. They see the popularity, they see the money that other people make, and instead of inspiring that to make them want to be better, they use it to kind of make it like more of a negative situation, which I never understood personally. Yeah. Like, if I see someone shine, I'm like, damn, what did they do to shine like that? And how can I use my platform or whatever it is that I do to kind of elevate my game to a new level? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Speaking about someone using their platform, we all know the big conglomerate that Disney is. They are planning to open up, I think the article that I read said half of their amusement parks on July 11th. And along with that, this is only happening in the US, but in Japan, there are amusement parks that are reopening, but one of their requirements to meet their reopening is no screaming on rides. No screaming on rides. I don't know what I would do if I walked in an amusement park and I just saw this.
Hey, Regis.
What are they gonna do if you scream? Give you a ticket? What about all the kids? I want to know how this plan is supposed to work out.
Well, it's crazy because I feel like a lot of people were like, everything's opening up too soon. Like, we should continue to wait and wait and wait. And I feel like, one, people are waiting for it's crazy. This is the craziest thing to me. People are waiting for somebody to say that opening up is like completely safe, right? Then the government is like, okay, well, we think because there's been a decline in the cases and people who have been dying, that it's slowly starting to be to a point where we can start opening everything up again. And now that someone's telling them that, hey, it's slowly ready to open that up again, people are like, oh, no, we can't do that. We have to wait. But I'm like, what do you want to wait for? Like, this virus is something that nobody's ever seen before, right? Like as a society, as a generation, we have never seen nothing like this before. Like we literally had the entire world shut down for like 2 months. Like not even just the country, the whole world for 2 months. So you're telling me that now we have to wait for a vaccine, right? That's what most people want to wait for. They want to wait for a vaccine where everybody can get a shot and boom, everything's good. The estimated time for a vaccine is not till next summer. So you're telling me that everything should stay on lockdown till next summer? People who still are on unemployment right now, people who still can't go out and about, you feel me? Like they have to be locked up and confined to their house because other people don't feel like it's appropriate for them to go out. Like, it's just a weird thing to me. So back to the amusement park thing. I can't go to an amusement park and not be able to talk. Like, it'd be like, think about it. It'd be like going to an amusement park and I feel like I'm at Target.
To me, it'd be like going to a concert, but everybody's quiet.
Bro, like it's that like you're literally walking into a Target. Like you can't. Like, have you ever been to a Target where it's been loud? Like I've always thought about that. Like,
no, I haven't.
Like Target, Target is the quietest retailer in the country. So it's like that you're literally at Target shopping all day is how it is feel like to me. So it's like, nah, like if you're gonna open an amusement park, you can't let it be that people can't scream. Right? What is screaming gonna do? Like their spit particles are gonna spread the virus even more. Is that what they're concerned about? Like, come on.
I also think that two things that I think a quarantine was good, but I think it needed to be whenever it was originally introduced, I think there needed to be a set amount of time that was given by the government for the mental health of Americans, because as humans, we need that like human interaction, or else we will drive ourselves crazy. Also, we need the human interaction so our immune systems can build themselves up against any diseases or viruses that may come our way. And the only way that we get that is from other people. We can't get it by ourselves. Now, if you do happen to contract the virus, then stay home.
Right.
But the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, if you're high risk, you should stay home. If you're with people who are high risk, you should stay home. If you live with people who are high risk, you should just watch who you interact with, right? You should keep hand sanitizer in your pocket, you feel me? Just a little squeeze, so like you always on prepared. But like for everybody else, for them, I mean, yeah, think about it. The fatality rate of the virus is very, very low.
It's less than like 2 or 3%.
Yeah, it's extremely low. So it's like you want the whole world to stop, and it has stopped for the last couple of months, and you want to continue to stop. Pretty much, like I've heard people saying we shouldn't open up anything until 2021. So you're telling me that people shouldn't do nothing for 6 more months, 5 to 6, 7 more months of just literally staying at home. You know what I've been doing? I read the instruction manual to my iPhone. You know how bored you gotta be to read the instruction manual to your iPhone?
Oh man, this man talking about some terms and conditions on Title IX.
Yeah, I said, well, let me see what my iPhone does that maybe I just don't know about. Like, let me learn a couple of tricks and everything like that. No, like, I love, like me, you know me, I'm a social person. I love interacting with people. I love talking with people. Like, if I go out somewhere, like, I want everybody to have a great time. Like, I'm all about positivity and spreading positivity. I can't spread positivity to an instruction manual. Like, you get no response back. You feel me? So it's just like,
oh my goodness.
So yeah, so I'm down for everything to open back up, and it seems like slowly but surely, depending on where you live at, everything is slowly starting to open back up. I think so. I saw like a hashtag like reopen California, so I think something's reopening California today. I have to go to that.
See, I wouldn't mind. I know it'd be, I know it would upset people in America, but I feel like the high risk areas like New York, California, maybe like some parts of Texas, some parts of Florida, like those places, yeah, stay closed for a little bit, because the subways just got cleaned and they haven't been cleaned in 150 years up in New York. So obviously, yeah, you need to shut down some stuff so y'all can get some stuff together. But like North Dakota, does North Dakota need to be closed?
Facts. So think about it's crazy. I just thought about this too. Think about all the protests that are going on right now, right? In Minnesota, like Minneapolis specifically, California, LA specifically, where that's a lot of people, right? The Twin Cities in Minnesota, like 3 million people, I think. Obviously, LA is like, I don't know if you know this or not, LA County has, I'm almost want to say, like, they have so many people in just the county of LA that it's more than about 97% of seats just in one county. Like, that's a crazy stat to me. So, and you gotta think about how many people. Did you see the people that were protesting on the highway where they shut down the 110 freeway?
Mm-mm.
All right, well, yeah. Well, I mean, when you look it up, you'll see that there was just hundreds of thousands of people that were just on the highway, literally stopping traffic, protesting because about all the situation that's been going on. But this is what I was just thinking about it. Well, if LA don't see a spike in cases, and Minneapolis don't see a spike in cases, and all these people been interacting, talking with each other pretty much the entire day, then it's just like, what are we still afraid of? You feel me? That's a lot of random people interacting with each other on a minutely basis.
I see it.
I'm like, I just feel like I'm shackled. I'm just trying to get unlocked, man. I feel like a locked character on a video game. I just want to be free.
Oh man. I ain't got no transition for this. We just gonna hop right into it. This is a Mount Rushmore of wing flavors.
Ooh.
Need your top 4 wing flavors.
Ooh. Okay. But does it matter where the spot is?
No, but you can rank them if you want to, but I normally just rattle them out.
Because I went to Nebraska, right? And I don't know if you ever been to Nebraska, but they got this trash ass wing spot where I was like, garlic parmesan, that's my number one. That's up there. That's on Mount Rushmore. So I went to that spot. I got garlic parmesan. Do you know what I saw? Some motherfucking garlic sauce with parmesan trees just dribbled on. Bro, do you know how mad I was to see individual little things of cheese on my slice? I have never been so frustrated with the chicken spot in my life. So other than that spot, Parmesan garlic Parmesan number 1. Lemon pepper though, they're pretty much. Whenever I go to Wingstop, I always get a split batch of the two because those are like the OGs of everything. Now I'm not really a fan of spicy food like that, but if I do choose a spicy flavor, mango habanero, fire. Love mango habanero, and then just the classic buffalo. I keep everything simple. I don't need nothing too crazy. I'm not bougie. I just need, my 4 things, and I'm out. Not 5,000.
So, lemon pepper is definitely on mine, but the lemon pepper wet because I feel like it hits different than the lemon pepper dry rub. But the thing is, you have to find the right place that does it good, which is why it's like exclusive for me. So that's why it's up there.
Well, so what wing spot? Because there's nothing in Denver that do it like that.
I know there's one that's local here in Tennessee that I go to every time, man. They got lemon pepper wet and lemon pepper dry, and I will get both. I will get half and half of both.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to take a trip to Tennessee then.
Number 2 for me is gonna be Asian Zing, just because it's like the sweet hot type of thing.
Okay.
I like because it's not like too hot because I do like spicy food, but it still gives you that like sweet tangy taste.
See, you're like the cousin that grew up in the South and all you had was like hot food, and I grew up in the suburbs of Denver where I had steamed chicken. You feel me? Like salt
and pepper ain't seasoning,
bro. When I go to people's graduation parties, I get instantly disappointed, man. Like, you go to them, you got like full-blown barbecues going on. I got some pale stuff.
Dang, I thought this would be easy for me. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. A Memphis dry rub. Them things be hitting.
That sounds fun.
It's like if you can imagine like a hickory smoked barbecue, like the sauce, but a dry rub. That's Memphis. That's Memphis barbecue style. I don't know
Okay.
what all they put in their seasoning to make it do that. I know it's got like some like an applewood flavor in there too. But
I've been to Memphis one time, and I had this drink called the Getaway, and I really thought like they would be amazing at first until it was like all black spot, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's just like it's black people food. And then, bro, it's literally like Kool-Aid, but they put like 10 times more amount of sugar. Like, bro, one sip, I thought I had no cap.
if a black person pulls out a measuring cup whenever they're making Kool-Aid, I don't trust the Kool-Aid.
I guess it's gonna be bland.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what? Just give me water. Just give me water. My last one, like you, is definitely gonna be Buffalo because I need
Okay, yeah, it's classic.
a hot one. Anybody can do, but I don't feel like it's too hard to mess up Buffalo because it's just butter and hot sauce. So
You hit them with a dab of ranch. Shout out to
that's
Migos.
all you need.
That's good,
Shout out to the Migos and the rap snacks.
bro. I had never tried those rat snacks, but I just know they look fire.
I've only had the Migos. I forgot what flavors they were, but I've had the Migos flavor and Fabulous flavor.
Yo, did you know the Migos teamed up with Popeyes?
Yes.
And they had, oh my Lord, bruh. I just remember one day I was in LA and I saw this thing on Twitter where like, hey, you pay $10 or something like that and you get the Quavo meal. It was like a $40 bag.
The Quavo meal.
Bro, I was in fucking heaven. Like, it was like 16 pieces of chicken, 8 biscuits, like 2, oh, bro, I was, whew, boy. Yeah, Popeyes
Bone Thugs and Harmony, they teamed up with Buffalo Wild Wings, but they had to change their name to Boneless Thugs and Harmony. I don't know what they're about to do, but I feel like that's ridiculous. They're like 30 and 40-year-old men rapping about chicken wings.
I just want the wing specials to come back, man. I feel like they've been owing us with specials, man. Like the Tuesday, I was like the 40-cent wing Tuesday or something like that. Like those things are crazy. And now nobody want to do that no more. Like,
because ain't nobody making enough money to do that.
Now I feel like food places have been making more money, if anything, because like people like they can't really shop at grocery stores. They were too afraid to do it. So it's like you get Postmates. I feel like been going crazy. Grubhub been going crazy. All these little food delivery places.
Right. I see on the last episode, me and my friend Alexis talked about it. Chuck E. Cheese changed their name on Grubhub and DoorDash to Pasquale's Pizza and Wing. I thought Pasquale was the name of the rat on the Chuck E. Cheese logo, but it's one of them creepy little mascots in the band. It's the one with the mustache. You can look it up. I'll send you the link after. But man, when I tell you, and I actually saw one of my friends order it, and they sent him 2 pizzas. They sent him a party pack with like glasses, Chuck E. Cheese stickers. I was like, you know what? Get your money, Chuck E. Cheese.
Hey, Chuck E. Cheese used to go crazy though. Back in the day, like when we were younger, like that shit was fire. That shit was heat. I don't know what it is now. I haven't been there in forever.
Google what a picture. I can't show it because the video might get taken down. But Google a picture of what Chuck E. Cheese pizza looks like. They take old slices from previous pizzas to make a whole pizza. I am not lying.
I heard about that too. I did.
None of it lines up, and kids don't care. Kids will eat anything.
That's great. The adults looking at it like, wait a minute. This ain't no perfect circle. Remember that SpongeBob episode? That ain't gonna keep nothing out.
Like why your circle? Like it looks like whenever some music platforms, like they'll put the animation of the song as like it'll be like a circle, and then as the beat starts popping off, like it'll start busting out. That's what Chuck E. Cheese pizza looks like.
Hell no. Hell no. That's Chuck E. Cheese got to improve on that because they was heat back in the day. Them and C. Have you ever had CC's Pizza?
Oh yeah, I used to go to CC's.
They used to go crazy. Well, you go $5, the unlimited buffet, and they have them little brownie things. Boy,
or the cinnamon roll, or the cinnamon. Oh man, I used to try to go there without eating all day and try to beat the how many slices you can eat. I think the one that was in my neighborhood, some dude ate like 4 whole pizzas.
Yeah, but
with the crust.
Oh yeah, that's tough, man.
I was like, you know what? This ain't for me, because
bro,
if I do this again, I might not wake up.
Bro, I tap out after a couple slices. I ain't gonna, well, not of like Cece's pizza, but if you got like one of them like Domino's like pan pizzas, I can only eat one of them. And I'm out.
Yeah, it's nap time.
Whoa, fast.
Well, we had our time. I wanted to thank my guest Miles for joining us today. Is there anything that you wanted to plug for the people where they can go follow you, all your socials and all that?
So, well, shout out to Twitter, because they made like, I had a little picture, right, that had all my social medias together, because all my social medias were the same, right? So my social medias, just so you know, is Miles, Myles, Ajani, Haani. Twitter is the only one that's fucking different, because if you type in that same thing, it says that account does not exist. You know why that says that account does not exist? It's because Twitter suspended me off Twitter 3 months ago, and they tried to permanently ban me off Twitter. So Twitter, if you're listening to this, just know my email when I signed up again is twitter.hoe24@gmail.com. And I use my mom's phone number to sign up again. So I didn't even use mine, so you ain't gonna catch me. Twitter.
Oh man.
But yeah, I be on Instagram. I'm about to my shoe collection probably go crazy. So if you're into shoes, follow me on Instagram. TikTok, I don't really post on TikTok. That's Jacob's thing now. So yeah, I'll just follow.
Yes, sir. My video, I felt like you for a hot minute, because my video, it wasn't my most recent one, but one of my videos that I posted on TikTok got taken down because it violated some guideline. So I sent it back to TikTok, and I was like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, I literally just saw the day before that, or not the day before, maybe like a week before, that video of the dude and his girlfriend sitting in the bathroom talking about how to make niggers, pouring water into the sink. Crazy. And that video got like 500,000 views before it got taken down. Mine was at like 50K. Now it's at like 250K, because I went back and was like, yo, this ain't cool. And people think people think that I'm making fun of people with disabilities. I'm not doing that. If you clearly see in the beginning of the video, my only one that's gone viral so far, I plan to make more, but I don't know how to go viral. I just know how to use the platform to reach other people's For You pages.
Absolutely.
The beginning of the video, the girl said, I have a speech jammer in my ear. And if you've ever used the speech jammer, you know that it plays your voice back to you slowly. And that's what slows your speech down, and you can't say whatever is in front of you.
Oh, I did see that TikTok. Yeah.
And I had bunches of people screenshotting and sending to me like, yo, this is hilarious. And then obviously all the comments on TikTok, because they just they ignored that first statement, and all they see is me making fun of a person with Tourette's or a stutter. And that's definitely not the case. I still have plenty of friends that have those disabilities. Never made fun of them one time. I just had to get that off my chest. But shout out to all the people who thought the video was funny, because there are definitely more people that are laughing at it than that are criticizing it.
No, we just live in a sensitive world now today. Like people get sensitive over the littlest stuff. Like whenever I get in these little, you know how me and my Twitter arguments be, sometimes. Yeah, I'll be going on people sometimes. But no, it's just like, I feel like people just get overworked about, one, people that they're never going to meet in their life, more than likely. Two, situations that have literally nothing to do with them. Like, I get arguments with people all the time, and I can tell, like, you know how you can tell when they're like get sensitive, their voice starts to get a little bit higher, their arguments start to go way left, they just start yelling for no reason. I'm just like, oh yeah, I got you now, motherfucker. Because like, because when you get so used to like everything that goes on in your life, you just become, like I said, that mentality, I talked about earlier, when I lived in these different states, I had to go through different things. Like, I have a very complex story, a story that wouldn't take, 30 minutes to talk about. But it's just like, I've been through so much where my mentality is just so strong, where it's like, if people want to roast me or people want to get at me or anything like that, I can have a normal conversation with somebody and it will never, ever affect my mood. Just because, like, that's not how I roll. I'm a positive person, 100% spread positivity. But I'm going to set my shots. You feel me? You shoot, I'll shoot back,
Sometimes it'd be hard not to get in them comments, but sometimes, like, the one comment that I had that I was literally thinking about responding to it for like 5 days, and I was like, why am I still thinking about it? Just let it go. So same video, I'm doing the DJ thing, and what was funny about it, before TikTok took it down, the girl I was duetting in the video, she commented on it and said, "This is hilarious." But literally like 2 or 3 comments after her, some random dude, which is why I don't really pay attention to comments, because if I go to these people's pages, they don't have any videos posted. And the likelihood, like, just because of the type of platform that TikTok is, the likelihood of the child that's on this app being like 7 years old to like maybe like 15 years old, I'm not responding to that. I'm too old.
Right.
But the comment that he had that I thought was very funny, that I was going to duet, and I was basically going to do basically like a TI type of response to it, because that man just has an extended vocabulary for no reason. So this person said, "Funny how a black is talking about someone who can't talk." And I was like, I took off my glasses. I don't even wear glasses. I was like, this mother. Ooh. But I just found this quote, and this is my transition into the ending of the episode. Will Smith said it in one of his interviews with Ellen DeGeneres: "Racism is not getting worse; it's just getting filmed, and now we can all see it." So, with that being said,
shout out freshman.
Thank you, Will Smith. Thank you, Miles, for joining me. Please let me know if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, queries, all of that stuff. And let me know what else you want to talk about. I'm always checking that email. DM me, whatever you want to do. We out. Thanks for listening. I appreciate all of your support. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find me here at Wave of the World Podcast on YouTube. You can also find me on any podcast platform. If you have any questions, thoughts, or suggestions, please send them to waveoftheworld19@gmail.com. And this beat is provided by Terminal Beats.